And not only are we live, we are people that are popping in left and right. We are so excited to have each of you here tonight. And what is up, Celebrate Your Success Sunday Night Crew? It is Erica Rose Siegel, your grateful realtor. And you see my dad, and now you see me, and then you see my dad. My dad has not seen this show, so we invited my dad. Everybody say hello to my dad. And now you see me. Hi, Dad. He actually said goodnight to me, guys. So he's already in bed. He goes to sleep by 5 o'clock, so he doesn't join the show, but sometimes he comes in through Facebook. And I would love to know, I'm Erica Rose Siegel, in case you can't see that written wherever you're finding this, and I'm your grateful realtor, and I'm coming to you live from Bayside, New York, and I'm so excited. And I'd love to have everyone jump in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We are sharing the stage with some amazing, amazing heart-centered leaders who are here to add massive, massive value tonight and help everyone create a new home and a new you. So thank you for being here.
Hey, Celebrate Your Success Sunday Night Crew. Oh, wow, everyone is joining in. It's Jasmine Yan, your super savvy shopper coming all the way from Brooklyn, New York. Tonight, we'll be featuring Chris McGlynn, who works along the side with Erica Rose Siegel, aka your grateful realtor. He helps to protect and empower individuals, families, and small businesses through an affordable prepaid plans offered by LegalShield. So I want to check in with our audience and take a quick pulse of where we are at. Type "oh boy" in the chat or on Facebook. So have you ever heard, have you ever paid for a speeding ticket because going to court was inconvenient for you? I know I have. Have you ever been involved in a dispute with a company and their customer service just wouldn't honor the contract you had with them? I mean, I can raise my hand. I don't know if people are raising their hands, but you should.
I'm typing, oh boy. I don't know if you see boys, but there's lots of boys. And if there any of them are single, I am here. And Jasmine, back to you.
Okay. Are you part of the 60% of people who don't have a will or trust set up for you and your family? I know I've experienced that. And are you a small business owner who's afraid to ask for legal advice you need because you're scared of how much it will cost? If you could say yes to any of those questions, then you have definitely come to the right show. Chris, I'm super excited to hear what you have to share. Who's with me? If you're with me, write "I am" in our chat or on Facebook in the comments section if you're watching live or on the Facebook or on the replay.
I am. And if I wasn't here, you guys would probably be confused because someone else would be sitting in my place. But right here, you get me for Celebrate Your Success Sundays. And let's begin. First and foremost, we're so grateful that you are here. And we're even more grateful that we're here with a new person to interview this evening. And this evening, we have Christopher McGlynn. And I'm truly blessed that we met. I don't know why decides to come in a lot on Sunday nights. During the rest of the week, I don't do that, just here. So somehow there's this it's back. It's okay. I'll have some tea in a moment. But I'm so blessed that I met Chris McGlynn through the LegalShield community. And in case you didn't know, your grateful realtor is actually a LegalShield associate. Because after experiencing way too many circumstances where I needed my own lawyer, different story for a different day, actually many stories for a different day, and knowing how important it is to have legal representation on my side, both as a homeowner, as a female, as a business owner, and as a realtor. It's an honor and a privilege to have someone like Christopher McGlynn to be my associate, to be my partner, to be my confidant, and to be my trustworthy sidekick for anyone who has questions, who has concerns, and who really is needing legal representation and doesn't know where to turn, doesn't think they can afford it, and doesn't know if it will even help. I've been there. I've done that. I bought the t-shirt. I filed for bankruptcy. I've dealt with IRS lawyers. I've been in situations where I haven't wanted to even be dealing with people anymore, been upset. And people on this call know that. And now we're here with Chris, who's a blessing. So thank you, Chris, for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Yeah. It is really our pleasure. And I'd like for you to start by telling us a little bit about your business and how did you get started?
Okay, I got started in LegalShield by accident, but it was a very fortunate accident. I had been working in the travel business for some time, and then COVID hit. And as you know, travel kind of dried up a bit. And I was looking around for other opportunities, and I ran into an old friend from college, and he had been involved in LegalShield for a number of years with his wife. And they explained that this was an opportunity to have a business of your own and also to help people at the same time with some very important things in their lives and making sure that um, they were playing on a level playing field basically in life for a very affordable price. And that interested me. And that's when I got involved in LegalShield.
Mm.
Wow. I mean, I know it's crazy how the pandemic has changed your life, but in a positive way, right?
Yes.
Most of the time you hear negative stories, but, knowing that during that specific time, this came into your life, right? Fell in your lap. And, that's an uplifting story. Most people don't genuinely have those kinds of experiences. They usually, like I said, have negative ones, but this was a positive one for you and your business. So, Chris, I know personally, I was really interested in hearing about what what you had to say, especially since, for me, I've dealt with a lot of legal stuff as of late. With my mother's passing, and I know we were talking about wills and trust funds and things like that. Well, not trust funds, but trusts, right? For the people that you leave this world with, right? And I know there are a lot of people who probably need to hear what you have to say, because maybe a year ago I probably could have used you. But a lot of times I think people don't realize that what they're going through in their everyday life right now, um they just don't think about that. Like, a lawyer is kind of like a last resort of who you need to speak to. So anyway, with that being said, I know Celebrate's Success Night crew. If you agree and need to know more about what Chris has to say, I would love for you to jump into our chat in the comment box on Facebook or on the replay and write "protect me," because we're going to hear about all this stuff that we could be protected by, right? Like, Chris is going to help us and teach us how we can protect ourselves. So now, with that being said, Chris, can you tell us what services can LegalShield provide for its members?
Okay, for individuals and families, basically LegalShield provides a broad category called advice and counsel. So basically what that means is you can call a lawyer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Obviously the after hours things will be more emergencies, traffic accidents, police incidents, things like that, from the palm of your hand. So basically you're putting a law firm in the palm of your hand through an app that can be downloaded to your smartphone. So at least that'll get the ball rolling. So if you speak to an attorney or call to have an attorney help you with a matter, they're obligated to call you back in 4 hours, which is not always the case if you're doing this on your own. Attorneys are busy. They may not be able to get back to you for a day or two. You may have to try to find an attorney. What LegalShield has done is they've contracted with one provider law firm for every state, and then that law firm will in turn go out and contract with other lawyers to meet needs that they can't readily meet based on their own geography. So in New York State's case, it is the firm of Feldman, Kramer, and Monaco, which is based out in Suffolk County.
Wow.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. I was wow, but I wasn't meaning to interrupt. I was more just like wow, and please continue.
Okay. Okay, sure. And it's basically a prepaid legal services plan, which if you're familiar with health insurance, operates kind of on the law of large numbers, which basically means you have a lot of people paying a small amount each month, and that allows you to get services at a more affordable price. So it's very similar to it's not exactly insurance, but it's similar to that type of concept where they're going to apply the law of large numbers and make it work for people.
And Chris, wait, there's more apparently, and you're just
a little bit more. I mean,
yeah, go for it.
People are going to say, I'm buying a subscription legal plan for $24.95 a month. What kind of attorney am I going to get?
Yeah.
Well, the average attorney that LegalShield has over 20 or approximately 20 years of experience as a lawyer. And they have the law firms that LegalShield is contracted with have actually been with LegalShield on an average of about 19 years. And it provides a network of 6,000 attorneys across the United States that members can have access to.
So let me make sure I heard those statistics right, because Jasmine knows I'm all about statistics.
Okay.
You said there's 6,000 attorneys they have access to throughout the United States?
Correct. And for one instance, a LegalShield associate I know, his father-in-law lived in Florida and passed away. And he and his wife went to Florida to help settle the estate.
Mm-hmm.
And they had some trouble getting some of the assets back from, I think it was a car from a mechanic's shop and some other assets that the father had. And they put a call into LegalShield. They were put in touch with the Florida law firm, and things were help was provided. Basically, they were able to get these issues resolved in a satisfactory way.
And I guess that is not, I guess, that is extraordinary, knowing that they could get help in a satisfactory way at an affordable price.
And they didn't have, and they were under a lot of stress, obviously, with the passing of his father-in-law. And they could go to another state and have an attorney. They didn't have to find somebody. Somebody was there for them already.
Well, and that's, you bring up some important factors, people being under stress, somebody passes away, or in the case where somebody attempted to explain this to me 3.5 years ago, and they really didn't have the same knowledge and passion and understanding of how under such duress, identity theft, abuse, could afford this type of service. And so therefore having LegalShield and legal services at my fingertips to at least have a consultation, and having the opportunity during stress to have lawyers. And I think you said the average, what was the 16th, that number?
The average law firm has been with LegalShield for 19 years.
Okay.
And then the average attorney has about 20 years of experience.
Wow. So I wanted those numbers and those are huge. If we can capture those numbers, it's average law firm has say that again so we can
The average law firm has been under contract with LegalShield for about 19 years. And the average attorney that you'll deal with has about 20 years of experience.
Wow.
So
okay.
they've been doing this for a while. It's not people right out of law school. They kind of have the experience and practical knowledge that they would need to help you.
And I'm having you repeat that because I didn't actually know that. And I don't think the people, when I was dealing with what I was dealing with, and even dealing with an IRS offer and compromise, attempted to go to a different lawyer. I did. And a year and a half later, I ended up paying more than what I started, and plus $5,000. And I didn't have LegalShield then. And so
I'm sorry. You mentioned the IRS audit. LegalShield had redone their plans this January, and they now offer a discounted rate of $50 an hour to assist you with an IRS audit, if you remember.
unbelievable.
And that is a very good price, considering what you'd charge, be charged if you went outside the network on your own.
That is extraordinary. And all of that information that you're sharing is so valuable. And I can certainly not only appreciate, I respect, I understand, and I acknowledge that so many of us are ignorant about, for lack of a better way to describe, about this service, about this opportunity. And may I ask, in addition to everything else you've shared, what other reasons, or the main reasons why people might choose LegalShield versus going to their own lawyer?
Well, I can tell you in my area, for example, a will is a big benefit. In my area, if you go to a private attorney, cost of just having a will prepared is going to be between $300 and $1,500. And you'll get that included in your LegalShield membership. And not only that, but you'll get like a financial power of attorney and a healthcare power of attorney included as well, which can be updated every year. So if you get divorced or you have a child, you can update your will every year. And that's included in the membership in addition to the other benefits.
So you can get divorced and have children every year and have a lawyer all the time. I mean, that's like fair. I think Felicia was like, what's going, no, that's tomorrow. Sorry. She was like, every year I can get divorced and have a baby and have legal representation for $25. Right? I mean, like, I don't know if he talks about price. I happen to know about price because I happen to be an associate, but he happens to be way more knowledgeable in this because I'm a realtor. So he's a sidekick or a business partner. And I am not encouraging you to get divorced or have babies every year because that will probably.
The divorce is a pre-existing condition. So you have to be a member for 3 months before you can make use of the divorce benefit.
Oh my goodness
Well,
gracious.
that's, I mean, definitely very interesting. And
Jasmine, back to you.
yeah, it's really some compelling reasons though, and insights that you shared of why people should actually look into LegalShield, right? So I'm thinking our viewers definitely want and need to know and hear more about wills, since you just mentioned that, right? I know personally, you know, I shared with all of you that my mom passed away a year ago and she didn't really have a will in place. And because of that, I'm going through a lot of legal stuff as well. And that's why I mentioned it, you know, like not being able to have access to any of her assets and waiting to become her administrator. These are things that people don't think about beforehand. And I know you mentioned, you said it was 60% of people in this world right now don't even have wills. Or
Yes,
don't even
that's
look
correct. And it's kind of literary, but I've heard the will referred to as the final love letter somebody leaves for their family.
into.
It just takes a big burden off a lot of people at a very trying time, makes things easier, and it's all laid out. And it really is, it gives people peace of mind.
So with that being said, what are some other reasons why people should create wills?
Well, it just makes things easy. If you have children, you don't want the court figuring out who gets custody of your children after you pass away. You know, if you have assets that you want to go to certain, like say a charitable organization, you want to make sure that's done, you know, according to your wishes, rather than having, you know, somebody just decide that after the fact. So it basically, it's taking the pressure of deciding what to do with your worldly goods and how to handle your debts and the custody of your children and things like that. And making it a whole lot simpler in what is obviously a very trying and stressful time.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense, right? You want to make sure that you want everything done the way you want it, as like you said, your last wishes, your last wants and desires, right? So Erica, back to you.
Well, yeah, I would love to hear, because I know that this is we'll call it a hot topic, but that's not even the greatest word, right? Phrase, that's 2 words. But just if you can touch briefly, since this is something that is so close to our heart, and some people may have heard about how I'm on a mission to help to eradicate domestic violence and sell a minimum of 1 million homes in my lifetime to help solve this problem. And I know there's some things that maybe I didn't know that I should know about how LegalShield could have helped me or us. And since this is a growing problem, if you could touch briefly on that, and then we can bring it back to, and then
Sure.
some
Well,
questions.
obviously, the domestic violence is horrible, and there's no place for it. And people can use the help of an attorney. So basically, the area where Legal Shield can help initially would be in the advice and consultation portion. You can call up an attorney, find out what your options are, and if there are legal remedies available to you, the attorney will advise you of the additional costs. So if it's not a specifically covered benefit, you would get the access to the attorney's work at 25% off their usual rate in instances like that. But the advice and consultation would be included in the plan. And it depends, obviously it's going to depend on the circumstances, but the advice and consultation followed by reduced rates of a 25% discount on the services offered.
And I just have to say, I know for you, and we were chatting about this the other day, it didn't seem like that's, it almost was like, oh, that it's not free, like that's not enough to offer. And I'm going to tell you that even the fact that you can have 25% off, when I went through what I went through 3.5 years ago, there was not even an option to have a conversation for a lawyer. And to know, and I think just so that I understand how this works, so you're teaching me, right? You're teaching us, is that you can have the advice, you can have the consultation, and they would read up to 10 pages of a contract. Is that accurate?
That is, there is a that's document review.
Right.
So if you want a document up to 15 pages,
there you go.
They will review that for you. If there's an additional per page charge, if the document is longer than that, And when you think about it, like everything we do involves contracts, whether you're getting a cell phone, whether you're getting cable service, whether you're leasing an apartment. These are all things that, and if somebody has taken the trouble to have a lawyer draw up a contract to protect their rights, maybe you should have a lawyer review the contract to make sure it's good for you as well.
Absolutely. And that idea of reading up to 15 pages of a contract for free, or, for the $25.
Included the membership, yes.
Included the membership, so $24.95. And then because I experienced this year, and then if needed, that they could send one legal letter on your behalf for free. Is that accurate?
Letters, they will do 12 letters or phone calls a year, one a month.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So they can do that for you as well.
Okay, so you can 12 times in a given year, you can have, 12 divorces, or you can have.
Not so much divorces, but maybe let's say you're arguing over a medical bill that you don't feel, should have been paid. You should be charged for. Kind of thing. So they can write letters on your behalf to take care of that.
I was just trying to make people laugh because I know it's a really touchy subject. So, you could, we're just trying to mix up the energy a little bit. So you could get married like 12 times and divorced, or you could have, 12 fights with people or something.
Yeah.
Just kidding. So, and then, or there could just be something where like you have 12 for $25 a month. And I'm going to kick it back to you, Jasmine, in a second, because I know I was kind of taking over and where you want to fill in, and then we'll head it over to the questions. But it's pretty interesting that for $25 a month, you can have up to 15 pages read of a legal document, consultation, and then you can also get one legal letter sent per month, or 12 times a year. You can have it 12 times in January, and then after that, it costs money. Right?
Yeah. Or they'll make phone calls on your behalf.
It really makes sense when you're in business because, you need to protect yourself, right? Regardless of you're protecting your website, or if you're protecting your interactions with your customers or your clientele, and making sure that everyone is protected. So I think that's a really good point with Chris saying that this is really, it goes hand in hand with what you're doing, Erica, and what Chris is doing with businesses as well, because we all need to protect ourselves nowadays. You never know who's going to be coming at you for a different reason or no reason at all. So making sure you have a lawyer in your back pocket, I think, is really key and really important. So definitely thank you, Chris, for sharing that information. So I know we had a question. We're going to just share one or two questions that you can answer. And if anyone has any other questions, we could do it offline or at our after hours show. So Tiffany, can you just share out a question that someone had for Chris?
Yes. So how do you make a living will?
You would call a provider law firm, and they would give you what they call an intake or matter number. You speak to a receptionist, attorney-client privilege applies at that point, and then the attorney would call back and talk to you within 4 hours. There's also a will planner that you can fill out and then submit to the law firm, and then the attorney would get back to you after reviewing that, and you can go over the finer points and figure out what needs to be done to go forward.
Interesting.
And following up on that, what is different between a living will and a typical will for those who have never experienced that before?
It's a good question. I am not an attorney. I would have to look the answer up for that. I apologize.
Oh, and that is totally fair. And we have this really cool thing called, actually, like, so glad you asked. And then the second thing is called Google. And then the third, right? Like, thank God it exists. And seriously, there were so many things I don't know that I don't know that I didn't know. And Tiffany, we're so glad you asked that question. And what I can tell you about Chris and also about LegalShield is that if you think you have a legal concern, you can call. You can have a membership for $24 a month, which is less than $1 a day. You can pick up the phone, you can use an app, and they will guide you and direct you to the attorney that specializes in the area of expertise you're looking for. So I can tell you, I just had a real estate closing last week, and apparently they overpaid me. And I'm like, what are you doing? And so now there's like a legal issue. And I'm like, the lawyer overpaid me. Like, how is it possible? And I think to myself, like, wow, like, did that guy actually do real estate law, or like, who was at the closing table? Because I wasn't even there. So I just want you to know that we're not just sending you to some really big firm that just has a bunch of lawyers. You do not, Chris, and correct me if I'm wrong, and then we're going to kick it back to Jasmine because I know that I need her to keep the show in check. But am I correct in that when you call, you get someone who specializes in that area of expertise? You know more.
That's correct. Yep, there are a number of practice area specialties within the law firm, the provider law firm, and you would get somebody from the correct area for your needs.
Yeah, cool.
Great.
That's awesome. And then Jasmine, is there another question? You want to wrap it up on how you see your business?
No, I mean, like I said, I think it's really important for business owners to protect themselves. And like I was saying earlier, and I could see how it can be beneficial for business owners because you want to make sure that you're protecting yourself from your customers. God forbid if something happens to a situation, right? A situation arises with the customer or clientele. So I know that's really important. And even if you're saying disputes that you might have with like big corporations, you might be a small business owner and like myself, and you're having a issue with a big corporation, LegalShield can help with that. So that's definitely good to know. And even mentioning the will, like it being a part of your membership fee.
There's a slight difference with the with the small business plans. They actually have separate plans for that. They have 4. They have a home-based business supplement for a company that has only family employees, like a home-based business, and then they have 3 other plans for small businesses that are for profit. And they offer some different services. The wills would not be included. You get the same advice and consultation. You'll get debt collection assistance. I don't know if the small business owners on the show know that attorneys will often charge a percentage of the debts they collect as their fee, whereas you'll get a certain number of debt collection letters per month based on the membership level that you choose. And there's no additional charge beyond that unless you want more debt collection letters written in a specific month, but they're not going to take a percentage of what they collect.
Wow.
Yeah, both Eric and I both are like, wow, because something you didn't know. We didn't know.
You don't know that you know. I just got unblinded over here. Seriously, wow. Okay, and by the way, this that was really a blind spot of mine to know that that's possible. And when we go to our after hours, our Q&A behind the scenes, I'm going to get more details on that because I had $75,000 worth of creditors chasing me at some point based on a previous relationship, and from time to time I saw just some faces light up when they heard that. That is it true. And I would like to hear more about that because, from time to time we might miss a bill. We might be out of town. We might be doing something. And me in real estate, I look at people's credit all the time. We have Olga Savella. She's a mortgage lender. She might look at someone's credit and be like, oh, so sorry. It's going to take, 3, 6, 9 months, 2 years to get this sorted. I'd love to make sure that people can hear during the after hours. Fiona's interested too, guys. She is like on the edge of her seat hearing about how that's going to work and what other information you can tell us. So if you are watching this on Facebook, on mine or anyone else's who's part of the crew, and you want to hear more from Chris McGlynn, and who is our business partner in the area of LegalShield, you can go in and register right now. Pet legal representation too. Yes, we have pet representation. Bold. So you can go and register behind the scenes because I'm also going to have him answer a couple of questions. Excuse me, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I am going to have him answer a few questions behind the scenes in regards to real estate. So if you're a realtor watching this and going, why is this realtor doing this show on Sunday night, talking about LegalShield, talking about legal representation? Why is she not selling real estate? I am selling real estate because this is a part of the experience. And we are not just here to, sell a thing. We're here to add massive value. And we know that people will come back to us in return.
Yeah. So with that being said, what Eric is saying is definitely share this video and this link to register for our upcoming shows. So Eric, can you do the drop in the chat for us and share your wealth? Just like Chris right here, we appreciate you. We thank you. He knows tons about how to protect ourselves. So we know that there's so many of you that know tons about what you're doing, right? So we would definitely love if you can reach out to us and let us know how we can put you to work. Share our link tree, celebrate your success, and let's schedule a meet and greet for anyone who has real estate needs anywhere in the world, or anyone who wants to convert their everyday spending into an earning for themselves. And of course, be sure to schedule a consultation with Chris and Erica. So Eric, you could drop that in the link as well, and share your questions or your resources, feedback, what you want to hear more of. It takes a village to create this, and this is a passion project that requires all hands on deck. Also, I know we've been talking about Clubhouse. This is something new and upcoming. A lot of people, it's getting bigger and bigger. More people are knowing about it. We need moderators. So individuals who have iPhones, who want to experience the fun of Clubhouse, please join us and help support our movement and our passion project. And back to you, Erica.
So if someone can help support Jasmine in moving to Clubhouse as well, that'd be fantastic. I was trying to educate her today about what the opportunity of being on Clubhouse is. She was, I think, starting to get a little bit unblinded about that coolness of like what it looks like. And I don't work for Clubhouse. I'm just letting you know that there's this really cool experience that goes on over there. And we're here sharing this really cool experience over here. And we're just looking to merge ecosystems with Clubhouse and the shopping consultant and the real estate broker, and Fiona, clearly she's also involved, and LegalShield and all of that goodness. With that said, I just want to remind you, we're in the business of helping people. That is what we do. And we want to thank you so much. And yeah, with helping people, it takes a village to run the show, create this show. And we appreciate you sharing, commenting, anything you took away. Because if someone really had the kindness and the knowledge and the commitment to making sure I understood why this membership exists 3.5 years ago, I wouldn't be owing 3.5 years later my dad $40,000, like literally, and that's after bankruptcy. That is how much I care and recognize this is wanted and needed. With that said, and that's okay, because Daddy is Daddy Warbucks. So is that Rich Bucks? Whatever it is, Daddy, I love you. And he's probably like, Erica, stop. It should have ended already. So thank you, Chris. This is your grateful realtor, Erica Rose Siegel. And thank you, audience members live watching on the replay, wherever you are. This is Erica Rose Siegel, your grateful realtor, here to help with your real estate needs anywhere in the world. And Jasmine Yan, your super savvy shopper, who can help you with their shopping, help you with saving money, earning money, and turning shopping into a savings and earnings and all that cool stuff. And she says it better than me, and she's awesome. We're signing off for now, but not forever. We're going to see you next Sunday on February 28th at 8 o'clock, where we're doing something really awesome. What are we doing? Well, what we're doing, and by the way, we're not signing off forever. We're actually going behind the scenes, so it's not too late to register. I'm pretty sure some of you are just popping in just a moment. But yeah, what are we doing next week? We're going to actually share everything you need to know about creating a new home, new you. But next week's new home, new you, we're going to have the fabulous guest joining us next Sunday, which is Jessica M. Powers. No, I didn't say that wrong. You heard it correct. She empowers. And she empowers individuals with creative solutions for success. So we will see you there. Be square, beware, and have a fantastic Celebrate Your Success Sunday. Until next time, bye guys.